Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana completes 5 years. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says scheme increased coverage, mitigated risk and benefited crores of farmers in the country. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa to induct 7 new members into the cabinet today. Prasar Bharati says no station of All India Radio being closed anywhere in the country. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 96.51%. Celebration for Festival of Harvest begins across the country. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The central government's flagship crop insurance scheme, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana or PMFBY, has successfully completed 5 years of its operation. The government took a historic step towards strengthening the risk coverage of crops for farmers and approved the scheme on 13th of January 2016. The Prime Minister has said that Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is an important initiative to secure hard-working farmers from the vagaries of nature. Congratulating all beneficiaries on completion of its 5 years, the Prime Minister added that the scheme has increased the coverage, mitigated risk and benefited crores of farmers in the country. Home Minister Amit Shah also hailed the success of the visionary scheme which was initiated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi 5 years ago. He said Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana has been able to ensure the income of the farmers by giving them crop insurance cover even after the harvest. Mr. Shah emphatically inserted that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the centre is committed to making farming easy as well as profitable for the farmers in the country. The scheme was conceived as a milestone initiative to provide a comprehensive risk solution at the lowest uniform premium across the country for farmers. In the scheme, premium cost over and above the farmer's share is equally subsidized by the centre and the states. The Agriculture Ministry has said that the average sum insured per hectare has increased from 15,100 during the pre-PMFBY schemes to 40,700 under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. The ministry has urged the farming community to take advantage of the scheme in order to become self-reliant farmers. Claims worth 90,000 crore rupees have so far been disbursed to farmers since the launch of the scheme. More from our correspondent.
With an aim to constantly bring out improvements, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana was made voluntary for all farmers post its revamp in February 2020. Besides, the states have also been provided flexibility to rationalize the sum insured so that adequate benefits can be availed by the farmers. The scheme covers over 5.5 crore farmers' applications year on year, and till date, claims worth 90,000 crore rupees have already been paid out under the scheme. Aadhaar seeding has helped in speedy claim settlement directly into the farmers' accounts. Even during COVID-19 lockdown period, nearly 70 lakh farmers benefited and claims worth over 8,741 crore rupees were transferred to the beneficiaries. The government has urged the farmers to take advantage of the scheme by associating themselves to become self-sufficient in times of crisis and support the creation of an Atmanirbhar Kisan. With Mohammad Nasim Naqvi, Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Kerala has become the 8th state in the country to successfully undertake ease of doing business reform stipulated by the Finance Ministry. With this, the state has now become eligible to mobilize additional financial resources of 2,373 crore rupees through open market borrowings. In addition to Kerala, 7 other states, namely Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Telangana have already completed this reform. On completion of reforms facilitating ease of doing business, these 8 states have been granted additional borrowing permission of 23,149 crore rupees. In view of the resource requirement to meet the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, The centre had, in May last year, enhanced the borrowing limit of the states by 2% of their gross state domestic product. Half of this special dispensation was linked to the undertaking citizen-centric reforms by the states, which include citizen-centric reforms of implementation of One Nation, One Ration Card system, ease of doing business reform, urban local body reforms, and reforms in the power sector. So far, 10 states have implemented the One Nation, One Ration Card system, 8 states have done ease of doing business reforms, and 4 states have done local body reforms. Total additional borrowing permission issued so far to the states who have done the reforms stands at 56,526 crore rupees.
Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank reviewed the implementation of the new Education Policy 2020 with the senior officials of the ministry. During the meeting, Mr. Pokhriyal recommended constitution of a task force for coordinating implementation of the new education policy between higher education and school education departments of the Ministry of Education. The task force will facilitate smooth transition of students from school education to higher education. The minister suggested formation of a review committee and an implementation committee headed by Secretary, Higher Education in order to ensure speedy implementation of the policy. Mr. Pokhriyal emphasized the need for shifting the focus from package culture to patent culture. He added that the National Education Technology Forum and the National Research Foundation are critical for the success of the policy and directed the officials for the speedy establishment in the year 2021-22. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa will induct 7 new members into the state cabinet today. Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has announced the names of 7 legislators who will be inducted into the state cabinet this afternoon. Giving the information today, Chief Minister said that MLAs Umesh Kati, Arvind Limbavali, Murugesh Nirani, S. Angara, and MLCs MTB Nagaraj, R. Shankar, and C.P. Yogeshwar will be sworn in today. He said Excise Minister H. Nagesh has been requested to step down. The R. Nagar MLA Muniratna, who left Congress and won the by-election recently on a BJP ticket, has not been accommodated. Mr. Yediyurappa said that 1 seat will be kept vacant. This will be the 3rd expansion since Mr. Yediyurappa took over as the Chief Minister in July 2019. In August 2019, 17 ministers were inducted, while in February 2020, 10 newcomers to the BJP were inducted into the cabinet.
Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has ordered an inquiry into the hooch tragedy in Morena. As per official sources, 20 people have lost their lives so far after consuming poisonous liquor on Monday night. Terming the incident as extremely unfortunate, the Chief Minister said that strict action will be taken against those who found guilty for the incident. Meanwhile, the District Collector and Superintendent of Police of Morena have been removed from their post with immediate effect in connection with the matter of deaths due to poisonous liquor. District Excise Officer of Morena was suspended yesterday for prima facie negligence in supervision. Earlier, Divisional Commissioner Gwalior Chambal Ashish Saxena formed an investigation team consisting of officials of Excise and Police Department, which has started the investigation. In Madhya Pradesh, bird flu virus has been found in 19 districts of the state so far. The avian influenza virus has now been found in Kadaknath breed chicken in Jhabua district. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
Bird flu virus has been detected in samples of famous geographical indication tagged Kadaknath chicken of Jhabua district on Tuesday. District administration is sanitizing and disinfecting the affected sites as per the advisory of central government. Transport of poultry and poultry products will be banned in the infected area for the next 3 months. So far, bird flu has been found in 19 districts of the state. About 2,100 crows and wild birds have been reported dead from 42 districts of the state. So far, 386 samples from various districts have been sent to the National High Security Disease Research Laboratory, Bhopal, for investigation. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has directed authorities to complete the Gosi-Khurd National Irrigation Project by initiating the necessary process. He was speaking at a review meeting held to assess the issues related to Gosi-Khurd National Project, Vidarbh Irrigation Development Corporation and Konkan Irrigation Development Corporation at his official residence in Mumbai. Issues related to the problems of funding Gosi-Khurd project and rehabilitation were discussed in the meeting. Maharashtra Energy Minister Nitin Raut has said that his ministry will do everything to reduce the electricity rates for industries. It could be done if adequate funds are provided by the state government for this purpose. Mr. Raut was speaking at a meeting held with the representatives of industry associations at Sahyadri Guest House in Mumbai yesterday. Industry Minister Subhas Desai said the Energy Department has resolved to reduce the energy rates and directions have been given to Mahavitaran to formulate a roadmap for the next 4 years. He stressed the need to change the policy of cross-subsidy, which results in the higher rates as compared to other states. He said that the state should bear the burden of the cross-subsidy and the relevant provisions will be made in the next budget.
In Gujarat, the world's tallest statue, the Statue of Unity of Sardar Patel at Kevadia, will be linked by railways to boost domestic tourism. According to sources, the railway link with the Statue of Unity will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on next Sunday. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
After getting connected with road, air and seaplane routes, the Statue of Unity will have railway connectivity very soon. According to sources, the railway infrastructure connecting Kevadia railway station in Narmada district is now ready. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Kevadia railway station through virtual mode. The Prime Minister will also flag off several express trains connecting Varanasi, Dadar, Hazrat Nizamuddin, Rewa and Chennai with Kevadia railway station. Ahmedabad will be linked to Kevadia through Jan Shatabdi Express. A MEMU, the mainline electric multiple unit train, will also run to link Kevadia with Pratapnagar station of Vadodara. According to sources, a new eco-friendly railway station at Kevadia will have water harvesting and solar system attached. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Prasar Bharati today clarified that no station of All India Radio is being closed anywhere in any state. Taking a serious note of the false reporting and fake news, claiming closure of AIR stations by various media outlets across the country, Prasar Bharati has made it clear that these reports are baseless and factually incorrect. Prasar Bharati stated that no AIR station is being downgraded or converted anywhere in any state or union territory. It added that AIR stations will continue to originate local programming in line with linguistic, social, cultural and demographic diversity, furthering the mission of AIR to nurture local talent. Prasar Bharati further announced that it is moving ahead with its plans to strengthen the All India Radio and AIR network with several key projects ready for implementation during 2021-2022, expanding its network with more than 100 new FM radio transmitters across India. Prasar Bharati is also moving ahead with its plans to introduce digital terrestrial radio in India. Select AIR channels are already available through digital DRM technology to the listeners in many cities and regions on an experimental basis. Prasar Bharati is also in advanced stage of testing digital technology options for FM radio, and a standard for the same will be finalized in near future to start the rollout of digital FM radio in India.
In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you a segment on fact check and mythbusters. Union government has termed media reports claiming that its permanent employees will have to compulsorily take at least 20 days of earned leave every year to be fake and completely baseless. It added that no such announcement has been made as yet and urged the media groups to refrain from wide speculations. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana completes 5 years. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says scheme increased coverage, mitigated risk and benefited crores of farmers in the country. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa to induct 7 new members into the cabinet today. Prasar Bharati says no station of All India Radio been closed anywhere in the country. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 96.51%. Celebration for Festival of Harvest begins across the country. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back to the Midday News. The Union Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister, has given its approval to the Memorandum of Understanding on Scientific and Technical Cooperation between Madhya Pradesh and Union Territory of Chhattisgarh. National Center of Meteorology of the United Arab Emirates and Ministry of Earth Sciences. The MOU will enable sharing of knowledge, data and operational products for meteorological, seismological and oceanic services between both the countries. This MOU will facilitate exchange of scientific and technical information, deployment of meteorological observation networks over ocean, mutual cooperation in the development of special capacities and research of tsunami models for faster and more reliable forecasts of tsunamis. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has now improved to 96.51%. A total of 17,817 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has gone up to over 1,129,000. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 2,14,507. During the past 24 hours, 15,968 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country to over 1,04,95,000. During the last 24 hours, 202 deaths were reported, taking the toll to 1,51,529.
India will start the world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive from Saturday. The much-awaited distribution of the COVID vaccine Covishield, developed by Serum Institute of India in Pune, has also begun. Dr. Sanjay Pandey of the GB Pant Hospital said the government has decided that the vaccine will be given to the health workers and other frontline workers in the first phase, since they are at higher risk of contracting the virus. Assuring people that the COVID vaccine is absolutely safe, Dr. Pandey asked them to cooperate with the government in the vaccination drive.
जनता को सरकार के लिए हुए फैसले पर भरोसा रखना चाहिए और सरकार की जो भी रेगुलेटरी एजेंसियां हैं, चाहे वो ICMR हो, चाहे वो DCGI है, या चाहे नीति आयोग है, या चाहे स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय है, इस सब ने मिलकर एक फैसला किया है और जो भी वैक्सीन मुहैया कराई जाएगी वो बिल्कुल सेफ है। तो मैं जनता में इस बात का भरोसा दिलाना चाहता हूं कि जो भी भारत सरकार ने वैक्सीनेशन स्टार्ट किया है और जो 16 जनवरी से प्रारंभ होगा, उस पर पूरा भरोसा रखें और इसमें सरकार का सहयोग करें।
Dr. Pandey appealed people not to panic. He said a person will be monitored for 30 minutes after administration of vaccine to check for any allergic reaction after vaccination.
इसमें कोई घबराने वाली बात नहीं है, पैनिक क्रिएट करने वाली बात नहीं है और अखबार की जो जानकारियां हैं उनको पढ़ के एंजाइटी क्रिएट करने वाली बात नहीं है। अगर मान लीजिए कि किसी को एलर्जिक रिएक्शन हो भी जाता है तो इसीलिए ऐसा प्रावधान किया गया है कि वैक्सीन लेने के 30 मिनट्स के बाद भी आपको वहीं रहना है, ताकि अगर एलर्जिक रिएक्शन होता है तो आपकी मॉनिटरिंग की जा सके। और एलर्जिक रिएक्शन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए काफी सरल उपाय होते हैं, तो इसमें कोई घबराने वाली बात नहीं है।
West Bengal has received 6,89,000 doses of COVID vaccine from the Serum Institute of India, and it has been distributed to the districts. More from a Kolkata correspondent.
After getting the first consignment of nearly 7 lakh doses of Covishield vaccine yesterday, officials of the State Health Department are now gearing up for the first phase of immunization on 16 January. Required doses have already been dispatched to the districts. More than 6 lakhs COVID warriors and frontline workers have registered themselves for this drive. Vaccination will be done from 941 cold chain points across West Bengal. Madhuparna Chaudhary for AIR News, Kolkata.
Talking to AIR News, Director of State Health Services Dr. Ajay Chakraborty said vaccines will roll out from all medical colleges, district and sub-divisional hospitals and super speciality hospitals across West Bengal.
We are ready to run the vaccine all over West Bengal. 941 cold chain points will go to give the vaccination on 16th itself. All medical colleges in Calcutta, also some urban PHC that has been identified to give the vaccination. And not only that, in some medical colleges, more than one session has been planned. All the medical colleges have multiple booths at the same time. We have slightly more than 6 lakh beneficiaries already included. So the first dose, maybe we can complete somehow, but since we have to keep the reserve for the second dose also, we'll have to use it very judiciously. And we'll just ensure that minimum wastage, we'll ensure that there is no adverse event following the immunization. If there is any adverse event, we are ready to handle the situation.
The first consignment of Covishield vaccine arrived in Mumbai today. In all, 1,39,500 doses of the vaccine were received and they are kept in F South Ward office of BMC. With the arrival of the vaccines, the preparations are in full swing to start the biggest vaccination program in one of the worst affected cities by the global pandemic in the country. A report.
Mumbaikars are all set to get the safety shield in this week against the coronavirus, which created unprecedented situation throughout the world last year. The first consignment arrived by a special vehicle amid tight security at 5:30 am today. The consignment of the vaccines is stored at the storage facility at F South Ward Office situated in Parel, and it will be delivered across the Mumbai at designated vaccination centers for national inoculation drive set on 16 January. Health Minister Rajesh Tope has said that the preparations for the launching of the drive is in full swing and all arrangements have been done for the drive. He said more than 7,84,000 health workers are registered on CoWIN portal, and the doses will be administered to those workers who have been registered till last midnight in the state. Shailesh Patil, AR News, Mumbai.
Amid pandemic, cinema theatres in Kerala opened today after remaining closed for nearly 10 months. Theatres are being opened with 50% seating capacity, adhering to strict COVID guidelines. Tamil actor Vijay Starrer Master is the first movie to hit theatres after the break necessitated by the pandemic.
Celebrations have begun for the Festival of Harvest across the country. The Harvest Festival is referred to by different names in different parts of the country, such as Pongal in Tamil Nadu, Makar Sankranti in Gujarat, West Bengal and Karnataka, and Bihu in Assam. The Festival of Harvest, Lohri, is being celebrated today in North India, especially in Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Delhi, Jammu and Chandigarh. Lohri is celebrated a night before Makar Sankranti, also called Maghi, which is a day in the Hindu calendar that is dedicated to the sun god. It marks the end of winter and is a day for people to celebrate their harvest. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have extended their greetings and wishes to the citizens on the occasion of Lohri, Makar Sankranti, Pongal, Bhogali Bihu, Uttarayan and Posh Parva. In a tweet message, President Kovind wished that these festivals may strengthen the bond of love, affection and harmony in the society and increase prosperity and happiness in the country. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that these festivals are known for their colorfulness and symbolize good harvest and bountifulness of nature. Prime Minister Narendra Modi prayed for universal happiness and good health for all on the occasion. The festival of Lohri welcomes the longer days of summer as the sun begins its journey to the northern hemisphere. In evening, bonfire will be lit to say goodbye to the coldest days. The festival is mostly associated with crop harvesting and happiness. It also encouraged a sense of community and unity. In Punjab, this harvest festival is marked by eating shivers of the roasted corn from the new harvest and eating kheer of sugarcane juice from January sugarcane harvest. Sugarcane products such as gur and gajak are central to Lohri celebrations as are nuts which are harvested in January. More from a Chandigarh correspondent.
In Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh, the Lohri, a seasonal and harvesting festival of old Punjab, is being celebrated with great fervor. In Gurdaspur, Amritsar, Pathankot and Hoshiarpur districts of Punjab, the children are busy in flying kites as it is age-old tradition in the area. There is a hustle and bustle in the markets and people are purchasing the gachak, peanuts and other items made of jaggery. The children are also moving door to door, singing songs of Dulla Bhatti and collecting eatable items and piece of woods, etc. for the evening bonfire. The youth can also be seen performing bhangra on the beats of the drums at various places. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, AIR News, Chandigarh.
Pongal is a festival celebrated by Tamils all over the world and signifies the birth of Thai months or the spring season. The 4-day festival begins with the celebration of Bhogi, which means the end of winter. On this day, people get rid of the old things from their houses. More from a Chennai correspondent.
On Bogi festival today, it is a custom to burn all the old things on this day, and the daybreak usually is smoggy. Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board had appealed to the people not to burn materials which could harm the environment and create health hazard. The board said that it is illegal to indulge in burning of tires, rubbers, chemical residues, which could also affect the flight landing at airports. Arrangements have been made to monitor air quality before and after the festival at 15 places throughout the day for 24 hours. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Sankranti is being celebrated throughout the Andhra Pradesh with rich fervour. The situation is different this year due to the COVID pandemic, and people celebrate the festival cautiously by following all the COVID protocols. It is a 4-day festival in Andhra Pradesh, Sankranti, Kanuma and Mukanuma. The rituals are a mix of various regions around the state. with plenty of kites flown and special sweets and new clothes and books and home appliances purchased. A report.
The festival of festivals, Makara Sankranti, is celebrated for 4 days. The first day, that is Bhogi Panduga, people burn all old articles. The second day, Pedda Panduga, is the Sankranti day when the big festival is held. People are dressed in new clothes and pray to God. On the third day, Kanuma is celebrated. Kanuma is very intimate to the farmers and is the day for praying and showcasing their cattle with honor. The fourth day is Mukkanuma, which is popular among the non-vegetarians of the society. The Makara Sankranti is a big festival and that is celebrated in West Godavari and East Godavari in a big way, and Godavari districts are known as Rice Bowl of Andhra Pradesh. Kite festivals and Rangoli festivals are being organized in several pockets across the state of Andhra Pradesh. Thus, Rice celebrate the festival with great enthusiasm and fervor in Andhra Pradesh. Dr. G. Kondalrao, AIR News, Vijayawada.
In Arunachal Pradesh, the Parshuram Kund pilgrimage in Lohit district held on the occasion of Makar Sankranti every year started yesterday. Devotees from across the country visit the sacred place to take a holy dip in the Kund on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. Owing to the COVID-19 pandemic, Lohit District Administration has cancelled the Parshuram Kund Mela held on the occasion. Moreover, this time the days of pilgrimage has also been reduced to 5 days from 10 days. In Assam, all preparations have been made to celebrate Uruka tonight on the eve of Magh or Bogali Bihu, the post-harvest festival in a grand scale. Community and household feast will be held tonight on the occasion of Uruka. Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi and Chief Minister Sarvanand Sonowal have greeted people on the occasion of Bogali Bihu.
The Enforcement Directorate ED has arrested former Trinamool Congress leader and Rajya Sabha MP KD Singh in a money laundering case today. Mr. Singh, who was elected to Rajya Sabha in April 2014 on a Trinamool Congress ticket, has been arrested in connection with an alleged money laundering case. Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari today visited the District General Hospital at Bhandara and directed the district administration to take adequate measures to avoid a recurrence of incidents like the recent fire at the infant care unit. The governor announced an assistance of 2 lakh rupees to the families of all children who lost their lives in the incident from his discretionary grant.
A 122-member strong Bangladesh Armed Forces contingent departed for India to take part in the Republic Day parade. The contingent comprises soldiers of the Bangladesh Army, sailors of the Bangladesh Navy and air warriors of the Bangladesh Air Force. It left Dhaka by Special Indian Air Force C-17 Globemaster yesterday. According to a press release issued by the Indian High Commission in Dhaka, this is only the 3rd time in India's history that any foreign military contingent has been invited to participate in the National Parade at Rajpath in Delhi. It is especially significant as the year 2021 marks 50 years of the Liberation War of Bangladesh. Indian Meteorological Department today said that a cold wave has gripped Delhi as frosty winds from snow-clad western Himalayas continued to sweep the plains and brought the minimum temperature down to 3.2 degrees Celsius. Dense fog blanketed parts of the city, lowering visibility to 50 meters and affecting traffic movement.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 22 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 33 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Kolkata experienced mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later. Srinagar will experience mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was -8 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 6 degrees. In Jammu, the minimum temperature was 7 degrees Celsius while maximum will be around 15 degrees. Leh will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was -14 degrees while the maximum will be -1 degree. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was -5 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 11 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. Dehradun is likely to have mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later. Chandigarh will have fog in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana completes 5 years. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says scheme increased coverage, mitigated risk and benefited crores of farmers in the country. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa to induct 7 new members into the cabinet today. Prasar Bharati says no station of All India Radio being closed anywhere in the country. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 96.51%. Celebration for Festival of Harvest begins across the country. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the Midday News.